Hey, it's Michael V. Moore, aka Mr. Travel Fitness, and here's the situation. At the end of August, I decided to put together a September to Remember challenge to several people, to anyone that wanted to participate. And so, what this challenge was a bet on yourself to lose a certain amount of weight. So, I utilized a website called DietBet.com. I created the September to Remember challenge, and I invited members of my Travel Fit Club and friends and family to participate. So a couple of them took me up on the offer and actually participated in the challenge. And I decided, you know what, let me participate as well. So how the challenge worked was you set it up. There's a certain amount of money to enter. In this case of my challenge, it was $35. Everyone who enters put $35 into a pot. And then what it is everyone has a different weight goal. So in my case of my challenge, you have to lose 4% of your weight. So for instance, me, I was like around 210 pounds at the time. So that meant I had to lose about 7, 8, 9 pounds, something like that. So everybody had different weights, period. So the beauty of it was you challenge yourself. You're betting on yourself. So everyone had different goals, okay? So I had a couple of friends sign up, a couple members of the Travel Fit Club sign up as well. And we're entering our final weeks. And for myself, as I was going through this challenge, I something unexpected happened in the fact that I actually started gaining muscle instead of just losing weight. And I kind of wanted to create this video right here to kind of get you a glimpse in behind the scenes, because what's going on is we're in our final week of the diet bet. And so last time I checked on the scale, I was 208 with 1 week to go. And my goal for this challenge was to get down to, well, not my goal, what the goal for the challenge was for me to get down to 201. And as a little extra incentive, kind of how they do it is, it's not 201 with my clothes off or anything like that. No, it's 201 with workout clothes on. So in my case, I really have to get down to about 200 pounds because I wear like a pound worth of workout clothes. So that's how this website works. It's called dietbet.com. If you never heard about it, check it out. I think it's a pretty clever way to kind of get you excited about losing weight. But as I say that, it was very critical for me to make sure people understood the difference between losing weight and losing fat. So I created this video on my Facebook page. I'll share the link somewhere on this page. But it made me aware of, a lot of people are just very confused about the difference between losing weight and losing fat. And so prior to going on this challenge, I was actually losing fat with no problem. So I had a set amount of calories, and I was doing it what I consider the proper way, in which I know my body can lose a max of 1 to 2 pounds of fat a week. And for 95% of the population out there, unless you're severely obese, your body will do the same. And so too many people look at the scale, and judge whether or not they're losing weight by what that scale says. And so I created that video, making sure people understood the difference between losing weight and losing fat. And so as I go on my final week into the contest and I stepped on a scale with 1 week to go and it said 207, that meant I had about 6 pounds, really, like I said, really 7 pounds to lose in 1 week. And so what this challenge does is it uses the scale as a way to gauge your process. Now, as a fitness coach, I hate the scale. I never use just the scale to gauge people's process. I use waist measurements. That's the number one tool I use. And then we just use the mirror test. The way you look in the mirror, you can tell whether or not you're losing or gaining weight just by the way you visually will see your abs. For instance, you can start seeing abs. You might see the sides of your hips go in. You might see the sides of your waist start to shrink in. Where you get little indentions and stuff like that on your sides that you didn't have before because you're losing fat in certain places. And that's something the scale will never tell you. And then additionally, besides just using, waist measurements in the mirror test, you can also just try on clothes. Like you try and, put on a pair of underwear or something like that, and all of a sudden your underwear is loose. Why? Because you most likely lost weight in that area. Okay, so I decided, you know what? Even though I understand the difference between losing weight and losing fat, I kind of want to prove a point to people when it comes towards just losing weight. Like, I don't like just to lose weight. Losing weight isn't that difficult. Losing fat is what you really want to do, because I want to maintain every single ounce of muscle I have on my body. And so what I decided to do is challenge myself to see if I can get down to, in this case, let's say 200 pounds in less than 7 days. So yesterday was what I consider day number 1. And for me to do this, what I decided to do was kind of follow a protocol. I've done this in the past, like on one occasion, and I know it works. But due to the fact that I know that I care about losing fat, I don't care about losing weight. I care about losing fat, and you should too. I just hope you understand that you should care about losing fat more than you care about losing weight, because losing weight doesn't necessarily mean you're losing fat. All it means is you're manipulating your body to get rid of liquids, or not absorb liquids pretty much, which will help reduce weight. So that's what I'll be doing these next seven days, is manipulating the water in my body so that my water weight goes down. Because in particular with me, I'm a very unique individual in the fact that the number one reason I can't trust the scale is because I absorb water. I retain water very easily, and that's not a bad thing. That's because I like carbohydrates. The type of workouts I do, you need carbohydrates. If you lift weights, you need carbohydrates. Too many people follow low carb diets for way too long and end up damaging their bodies just because they see the scale going down. They think, oh, I'm losing fat. No, you're just losing water weight. There's a difference between losing fat and losing water weight. And too many people who follow a low carb diet for too long fall into that trap. If you want to follow a low carb diet, you still got to eat carbohydrates, especially every now and then, just to get your glycogen levels up, because that's what provides you the energy to get through a resistance workout, a very challenging workout. You got to have that energy, because that's the energy system that's being used. When you don't have the right nutrition in your body's going to attack itself. Your body's going to go crazy because you're not treating it right. You're not doing what the machine is meant to do. Okay. So please understand that. So don't fall for that trap, because I know a lot of people love to go on these low fat diets, and just because it has this clever name that, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose so much weight. Da, da, da. And it's like, you're not losing weight. You're just losing water. That's it most of the time. So don't fall for the trap. Try to lose fat each and every time. So with that being said, I'm going to lose water weight. Yeah, so I just want to make sure people understood that I understand the difference, and I hope you understand the difference. So what I'm doing this next week is not something that I would do just to lose fat. This is just something for me to prove the difference between losing fat and losing water weight. So going into these weeks, I was following a fat loss diet plan, and my plan was to get down to about 195 before I start bulking up for like a good 1 to 2 years, and then losing fat, and then maybe bulk up a little bit. So I just wanted 10 solid pounds of muscle on my body. I know it's going to take like 1 or 2 years to get 10 solid pounds of muscle on my body, and there's going to be a little fat along with that. So I'm just trying to lose as much fat as possible. In this case right now, it's just, yeah, it's like the first day of fall today. I just now realized that. Yeah, it's the first day of fall. So we're in a new season. And so I know during the colder months, I plan on just, bulking up, so to speak. And so the idea was to just get jump started on the fat loss. And so I'm kind of right where I want to be, just give or take 5 pounds probably. And so as I've been dieting these past couple of weeks prior to doing the DietBet challenge, I was doing exactly what I want to do. I saw that steady stream, that ticker tape, or whatever you want to call it, stock market index. It was going down, negative, in a negative fashion. That's a good thing. That's a blessing. That's what you want. It's never going to be perfect like this, but if you look over time, it kind of resembles that, okay, on average. And so I was losing 1 to 2 pounds of fat a week. But due to the fact that I was in this DietBet contest, I needed to prove to everyone that I can still meet the goal, because I'm supposed to be Mr. Travel Fitness, and my reputation's on the line here, so I gotta do what I gotta do. So this is the kind of plan I set forth for myself. So I'm following something similar to what a lot of boxers, mixed martial artists, wrestlers do when they have to make weight. And in my case, I'm still lifting out. I'm still lifting weights while I'm doing all of this. But I'm just going to manipulate the water in my body and also sodium in my body, because when you eat lots of salt, lots of sodium, that also absorbs in your body and maintains and retains the water in your body. So I'm kind of lowering my sodium content just for a week, just to make the weight, so to speak, see what happens also. And I'm going to be manipulating the water in my body as well. And then for this next week, I will be following a lower carb lifestyle. This is something I normally don't do. I follow a higher carb lifestyle just because of the fact I lift weights and I'm an active person. I prefer to utilize that energy system. If you were not an active person, then it kind of makes sense for you to follow a lower carb diet and emphasize fat as your energy source, just because you're not an active person. And that's where that energy should come from, is from fats or healthy fat sources, okay? So for me, this is a little switcheroo. 1 week is all I need. I'm not going to go past 1 week. If I go more than a week, I think it will be overkill. It's not necessary. And so yesterday was day number 1. So I started off day number 1. I got on a scale and I weighed 207, let's say 207 and a half. It was about 207 and a half. And so yesterday's plan was for me to drink 2 gallons of water throughout the entire day. That was a little bit tough. I haven't drunk that much water in a while. So obviously when you drink that amount of water and then you don't eat sodium as well throughout your day, it goes right through you pretty much. And after a certain point in the day, you're just peeing all the time. Excuse my language, but it's true. I'm just urinating nonstop. And that's because everything's just being flushed out your system. So it wasn't that hard to do. It was just a matter of fact that I was drinking so much water, I really wasn't even hungry throughout the day. So that's another thing, is as far as what I'm eating, I'm just eating high protein, pretty much meat, and just whatever natural fat I can that comes from the meat. And maybe you could say like I know eventually I'll be eating like an avocado or maybe some nuts every now and then, but pretty much most of my fat source is just directly from the meat, and an unlimited amount of vegetables with just no salt on it or butter or nothing like that. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan. So yesterday I just had 2 meals. So for those who don't know, I kind of practice intermittent fasting anyways. And so I normally only eat twice a day. And so that just means I go about 16 hours probably without eating before I actually put some food in my system. So that's what I did yesterday. And it worked real well, really, really well. I can't complain. I really wasn't even hungry at all. I had to kind of almost force myself to eat. And I got through the water. All that water actually went in me. So the only problem I would say I had yesterday is when I went to bed, I really didn't get a consistent sleep. I was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's just because I have, there's no carbohydrates in my body like it normally is. And so I kind of expected that. So if you go from a person that eats, a typical amount of carbohydrates a day to pretty much reducing that. In that case, oh yeah, I forgot to share. I'm pretty much eating less than, on days I work out, it's like 70 grams of carbohydrates. On days I'm not going to work out, it's going to be about 50 grams of carbohydrates. So somewhere in that range. That's what I'm aiming for. So on the days when I'm eating lower carbohydrates, such as this process, you kind of can expect your body to like, okay, what's going on? Because your body is so used to using carbohydrates for its energy. Because again, I was lifting weights as well as yesterday, and so my body didn't have that. So it's a little more sore than it normally would be because it doesn't have the proper construction crew, I guess you can say, in the body to help out with the post-workout plan and all that good stuff. So yeah, so my sleeping wasn't perfect, and then also I had to keep going to the bathroom. Like I got up at least twice in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, so that kind of made my sleep not perfect. And I expected this. And so again, if you go from a low or normal carbohydrate diet or something like that, high carbohydrates to low carbohydrates, it's going to be a little bit of adjustment period. Some people might feel like a crash, and that's to expect it. I kind of did a pre low carb day before I even started this. I went pretty much a whole day where I was eating very low amount of carbs. And I experienced that where I was like, whoa, boy, I just had no energy and I had to take a nap. Then once I took that nap, my body kind of woke up and got adjusted to it. So I kind of broke myself into it just a little bit before I officially started. It's just on that pre-carb day, I did actually have carbohydrates at the end of the day, just to prepare myself for this upcoming week. So yeah, so day number 1 is in the bag. So as of me recording this, this is kind of technically day number 2. I'll create a video for each day. So on the morning of day number 2, I can just let you know that after day number 1, my weight went from 207.5 down to 205. Yeah, 205 as of this morning. And my waist measurement yesterday was around, it was like 35 inches, and now it's around 34.6 inches. So that just lets me know that everything's going how it's supposed to go, and it just makes sense. You take carbohydrates out your body, you're going to lose water. You take sodium out your body, you're going to lose water because there's nothing for that water to cling on to, so to speak. Which is a great thing if you're a healthy person. You want that to happen. Too many people are so extreme about trying to lose weight that they'll listen to this and not hear what I'm actually trying to say. Okay, which is you want to lose fat. You don't want to just lose weight. This is only just 1 week experiment with me. That's it. All right, so I guess I'll wrap it up there. So I'll try and come up with a video each day, either the morning of or at the end of the day, tell you how the day went and all that good stuff. So I got my workout gear on. I'm actually about to go to the gym, do a workout today. So it's going to be very interesting because today's the very first day I've been really completely fasted with pretty much zero carbs in my body. Even though I had 70 grams, I'm pretty sure that my body burned through it already. So today's workout is going to be very interesting. It's going to be squats, pull-ups, a lot of big boy type exercises. So I'm definitely going to have to reduce the weight so I can do the exercises, no problem. And that's another thing. You gotta realize if you do something like this, that means that if you're lifting weights, you're gonna most likely have to decrease your weights. Don't expect to be have the same amount of strength that you had when you had carbohydrates in your body. That's not how your body works. You don't have that proper nutrition in your body, so your body's not gonna be able to perform at its peak. Okay, that just comes with the territory, and I'm fine with that because my emphasis right now is weight loss. Hopefully I lose a little bit of fat with this, but it's mostly gonna be water weight I lose. So hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll see the other videos, and by the time this is over, hopefully I've met my goal and I've proven my point that, hey, losing water weight versus losing fat, there's a big difference. Okay. All right. So this is Michael V. Moore, aka Mr. Travel Fitness. I'll see you next time.